I just turned 20, and if a 32
You can tell.
year-old woman made sexual advances toward me, that would definitely weird me out quite a bit. So that...
Really? What would you do? Would you cry? Would you start shaking? What would you do? There's a section of this video called... I'll pop the video up now. I've been owned yet again. There is a section of this video called The Harmful Opinions Disaster. Okay? I'm looking forward to it. Look. Wait. It's me! Can you see the previews in the capture? It's me. I love videos that talk about me. I don't have an ego or anything, okay? It's just very fun, okay? Alright? I told him, let's go refresh myself on this stuff and we'll watch a vid on tonight's stream. He said, this could be interesting. HO provided really balanced takes. Did I? I don't think I did. Balanced doesn't equal good. Balanced takes during the Mr. Beast situation, so I have some hope. I had quite a strong angle on it, in my opinion. Quite a heavy-handed angle, even. So I have some hope he might actually reconsider his opinion on female sexual harassment. I think you're gonna be surprised. Oh, my comments on this story do not apply only to women. And engage with my points in good faith. My trigger words. My trigger words. He's activated my kill phrase. I'm gonna shut down. Or he's just gonna call me gay and a pussy for 25 minutes. I told him the latter is likely. If he's saying this, the latter is quite likely. We'll see tonight. Let's go.
Alright everybody, I'm gonna start today's video.
There's no f***ing way. I have this on... Okay, I have it on 2x speed. That's me. That's not how it is. I had it on 2x...
Alright everybody, I'm gonna start today's video off with a bold assumption. I think the absolute majority of you do not recognize this woman based on
I do. This is the story where the guy got cucked by Gollum.
this picture alone. But if I were to show you this photo instead, you might have an idea who she is because of the man next
I feel like the contrast was like she's meant to look good in this one, but
to her. The dude's
real prehistoric vibes.
suffering here is Allstarva. He's the Dead by Daylight guy. He owns two channels with over 1 million subs, and this chick Eventic used to be
Is this Oblivion remaster promo? What's happening? Did they... She's been exported into Unreal Engine 5.
his girlfriend of 5 years. Now they publicly separated
I believe... You're saying she, question mark? I do believe this is a she with eggs and everything.
last year over some quite serious allegations, and if you're not actively following Twitter drama, you are most likely completely unaware of this
This keeps happening. Bros, some chicks just look all f***ed up. They're not all trans.
controversy because the YouTubers involved made some of the
That's so good.
completely unaware of this controversy because the YouTubers involved made some of the most bizarre decisions I have ever
YouTubers involved. Makes it sound like I'm part of the story.
seen in my time online. The guy breaking the story got
Breaking the story? What the f do you mean breaking the story? The document itself was published. Was published.
Who's the weirdo with the shades?
I don't know who that is. Who's this? I don't recognize him. That's not even a picture of me. I don't think it counts as breaking a story if you read a Google Doc that's been seen vastly more times. Like, I probably exposed it to like a dozen new people.
literally almost every single thing wrong in his video
Oh.
and active.
I got facts wrong. Hold up.
The guy breaking the story got literally almost every single thing wrong in his video.
Literally almost every single thing wrong. I'll be interested in that. I watched the video back. I read the document. Commented on the document. Is this where it's going to be revealed I have Alzheimer's? And the document I thought I read wasn't real? It was just in my head?
And actively engaged in victim blaming. This
Hell yeah. Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, I broke the story as in broke it into pieces.
is one of the strangest situations I have ever
Hey, I came around at the end of the video. Once I saw the e-girl in question, I agreed. Getting sent pictures of that ain't something no one wants.
covered because despite there being zero evidence for any of the claims, I still believe there's an over 90% chance the person being accused is absolutely guilty, and if
Why would you phrase it like that? I believe she did what she's accused of doing, yeah. My point of contention is, how bad is it? Not very. If you're the guy who got cucked, it's real bad for you. For me, not very. We'll get into the details though, I'm sure.
If you know anything about my past videos, then you'll know that me believing something without any evidence is an incredibly rare occurrence, further showing that this situation
Also, there is evidence. I think testimony counts as evidence. Not the strongest evidence, but it is still a form of evidence.
is just one of a kind insane. Like, the context here is just so bizarre. So let's get straight into
Brother, you need to read more Google Docs. This is like vanilla pudding.
odd Star Wars girlfriend Eventic and her strange pattern of behavior. This is Dead by Daylight's most
Strange? E-girl hoeing out in people's DMs. Typical behavior.
hated e-girl. So who is Eventic? Well, she's a Twitch streamer in her 30s, hailing from the beautiful country of Finland. Her real
Happiest place in the world. Happiest place in the world. I eat like yogurt biscuit bars where on the packaging is like, buy this and get an entry into the raffle to visit the happiest place on earth.
name is Nina. Showed
This timeline better matter, because my memory of this is that this is pretty irrelevant. There's not much meat to it.
a small streamer going by the
Sure.
name of Lellasaurus Rex dropped a Google Doc on Twitter. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this doc, there's one important aspect we need to cover first. Now, there's two
Go.
reasons for these allegations never having been picked up by any bigger YouTubers. One, the guy that broke the story
Oh, does he care? Hang on. There's something really funny he might care about.
onto the commentary community got almost everything wrong in this video, which we will
Everything wrong. I read the document and commented on it. I don't think I added any claims. I don't think I made any claims.
get to later. And two, the author of the Google Doc demanded that people do not make videos about his accusations. He
Yeah, f*** you. That cemented me covering it.
starts off the
Publish media and say, don't talk about this. F*** you. I believe I said, who the f*** do you think you are?
doc with please don't make
I'm gonna release a film and say, please do not review this. It's very personal to me.
reaction content or drama videos about this subject. And
It's so funny.
he ends the whole thing with please do not treat this as gossip or scandal.
It's literally what it is. It is literally what it is. Treat it as. It is what it is. It is what the document is.
Don't make content on it. We just want to protect people from it continuously happening and move on. So Rex released a document onto Twitter publicly accusing another content creator of sexual harassment, yet he demands that people do not share it, do not react to it, and just move on. Now,
Yeah, retarded or a show of hubris.
I will give Rex some charitability here because
Why?
as a victim of sexual harassment about to publicly speak out, he probably experienced a lot of distress, which caused him
You think he was traumatized? You think he said, please don't cover this because he was traumatized?
to act irrationally here. So I'm not gonna shit on him too much for this. But it absolutely needs to be stated that this does make absolutely no sense.
It makes sense that someone might desire their media to not be commented on, to not be covered or talked about in a certain way. A lot of people desire that. Megalomaniacs.
Now, what I feel like is definitely wrong is actively disregarding the accusations and writing them off as false because of
Ryan, who's done that?
the victim's unusual demands, which is what harmful opinions the guy who broke this
I don't think I suggested they were false. I accept them as probably true. What the f? I watched my video earlier. I didn't say I doubted their reality. My commentary was on the characterization. Such as being, like, presenting it as this terrible thing. Painting it in a similar way to, like, when pedos offer kids, like, FIFA cards. That was in the news all the time for a while. But it's a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old. And he was like, she was gonna buy me microtransactions. The position of power she was in, you don't understand.
story onto the commentary community ended up doing. But to properly understand how badly Soyjack Keemstar over here fucked up the
Soy Jack Keemstar. That's pretty tight. I have a couple good Soyaks.
situation, we have to thoroughly read through the document first. In May 2023,
Thoroughly. Brother, it's one page, I think. Maybe one and change.
me and Nina became good friends. Nina was made aware that I'm not in the
Nina and I.
best financial position and bragged to me that she had $200,000 in savings and could help me out. She offered to buy me in-game cosmetics in exchange for naked Snapchat pictures. I did
This is like a 40-year-old diddling a 12-year-old type setup. Remember, this is a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old. 20-year-old is offered microtransactions for nudes.
not want to receive these. Now, if true, this is obviously criminally horny behavior by Nina, but what interests me most here is whether or not Rex told her that he did not want to receive any pictures. I think that's really the most important factor here.
She offered to buy me in-game cosmetics in exchange for naked Snapchat pictures. Sounds like she was trying to get his pictures. Later, she will send him pictures. Sounds to me like she was trying to solicit pictures from him. The key here is, what went down from that solicitation? Did he say no and she respected it? She offered to buy me in-game cosmetics, so she's buying cosmetics for him in exchange for naked Snapchat pictures. The Snapchat pictures are his side of the deal, yes? I did not want to receive these. Now he's talking about, it sounds like he's saying he doesn't want to receive the cosmetics. Later, not wanting to receive them will make sense, because she does then send him pictures in this story. But this whole paragraph is
He then continues, she would also start conversations
Did he get them as well? A detail I wanted to know, I think, is did he get the cosmetics?
by asking me how I'm doing and if I was just okay or struggling. She would send unsolicited and unwanted half-naked pictures or videos in reply. I had just turned 20 at the
I was freshly 20. Yeah, this is embarrassing.
time she was over 30. This made me feel extremely uncomfortable and I withdrew from the friendship and group. Now,
If she was 21, would you have felt different? Why does that age gap matter? You're a 20-year-old man.
again, it's almost necessary for me to know whether Ray told her he didn't want these pictures or whether he reacted either neutrally or positively
Hey, that's my take.
towards them and kept his disdain for Nina's actions to himself, because that would massively impact my overall perception of this situation. But
We have some info. This is something that occurred multiple times. In fact, there was a pattern such that he could recognize if he said he was just okay or not great, she'd send it to him. She would ask him multiple times, he would give such an answer, and she would send him pictures. This happened multiple times, he says. And we know as well that he certainly didn't cut communication, did he? Otherwise it wouldn't be able to repeat.
another aspect I want to get into is the age gap. Now, I would not define it as actively harmful for a woman in her
Not actively.
30s to sexually engage with a 20
I wouldn't get involved with a 20-year-old, but that's a matter of taste. Also, I have a loving girlfriend who I'm committed to. But if I didn't, 20? No.
year old, but it is still weird to me. Like, I just turned 20 and if a 32
You can tell.
year-old woman made sexual advances toward me, that would definitely weird me out quite a bit. So that
Really? What would you do? Would you cry? Would you start shaking? What would you do?
does make Nina come across as quite strange here.
If she looks younger than she is, like let's say there's a 30-year-old woman and she looks like 25 or younger, and you rizz her up and oh no, she rizzes you up, and then you like see her driver's license and realize she's 30, would it be like, oh my god, like what would your reaction be?
Anyway, he then claims she sent several unsolicited pictures that were never asked for or welcomed by myself.
Never
These
asked for or
inappropriate
welcomed.
pictures were all taken at Odds/Alex's
He claims he didn't welcome them.
house while they were both still in a happy relationship. Alex had no idea what was happening at the time. Now, this is the true bombshell here. All of this allegedly
And it happened multiple times. And we know it didn't happen multiple times in one instance because he described a pattern where she'd ask how he is. If he gave certain responses, she'd send photos. That means this must have occurred at least over multiple days, right? Many, many times.
happened behind Olstara's back, meaning Eventic actively cheated on Olstara by sending inappropriate pictures to a person
Yes.
over a decade younger than her. If the
Over a decade younger! If only he'd been cucked by a 30-year-old.
allegations are true. Now, the doc reads, I recently spoke to Alex about my experience, and when
You can put sexual harassment on the screen, buddy. You don't get dinged for that.
Nina was confronted about this over the phone by Alex, she lied about it
Now watch me get a strike, but you know.
again continuously. I'm going public about this to protect further victims and speak out against sexual harassment and abuse of power. I'm really grateful to Alex for his sympathies and request that anyone reading this does not go to his Twitch or YouTube to pester or make a big deal.
You don't find this suspicious at all? Not suspicious at all? You believe there was a pattern of this occurring that must have occurred over, you know, a significant period of time. If it happened multiple times and it was connected to her asking you know, how are you? You don't think there could be a little bit of guilt on his part too?
He is also a victim here. Do not message Nina. We all hope she gets the help she needs to stop hurting people continuously. Now,
I like the abuse of power bit. Does he just mean that she said she had $200,000?
not a big fan of this don't message Nina thing, because I would be inclined to give her a chance to defend herself, considering that there's...
Yeah, but my man clearly means like that bit is definitely a boilerplate, like no harassment intended type thing. That's an ass cover. He doesn't mean if you're gonna cover it, don't approach her for comment. Also, none of his business, but we know what he's doing.
no evidence attached in this doc, but the most important sentence of this section is he is also a victim here. Just scratch the also part. I believe Ostrava should be seen as the only confirmed victim here, because I believe that Nina definitely cheated on him with other
Only
men
confirmed
despite
victim.
the lack of evidence. I am basing this off Otz's response to the document, because he replied confirming that everything said is 100%
I think it's pretty
verified that this is the reason his
relationship overnight. Like he's this like like aged cheese or a bottle of wine. My relationship had a good vintage and I lost it.
But in any case, Ostrava is definitely a victim of cheating, and Nina
He got cucked by Gollum.
100% shared sexual images with Rex. In my opinion, due to the obvious lack of evidence, these are the only two reasonable conclusions you could walk away with from this situation. However, one person who would disagree with me here is the
Would I? I watched my video again earlier, just to see what was up with the case, like skip through it. Pretty sure that was my position.
YouTuber
It's real, but I don't give a would be the summary.
Harmful Opinions, who brought this story onto the commentary community's radar. Now, Harmful Opinions is a commentary
Did other people cover this? It's pretty, like, weak sauce drama. Like, I only made a highlight because I needed something to upload.
a YouTuber with over 30k subs who markets himself as a controversial, no bullshit type of creator, sharing his honest, unbiased opinions on current events. Now,
No, my videos are literally 100% bias. My name is literally opinions. But, okay, nice try.
will say, unlike most people I cover, this guy definitely isn't grifting or pandering to anyone. He does actually give his brutally honest
I'm pandering to the evil Dark Warriors.
takes regardless of the popular narrative, which I do respect, but at the end of the day, that's
I think I definitely have a contrarian streak.
the only positive aspect about his online presence. There's only so much praise I can give you for your honesty if your brutally honest opinion ends up just being mind-bogglingly nonsensical. Now,
Nonsensical. Doesn't even make sense. Okay.
Harmful Opinions became aware of the drama surrounding Eventic, and he sent a reply to the callout post. So sorry this happened to you, or congratulations, or whatever, I ain't reading that. Well, he does appear to have changed his mind, because he then released a video on the situation, where he took Eventic's side and ridiculed the possible victim for
Eventic's side? I'm pretty sure I called her an ugly whore. I don't know. I think you might not be understand.
over 20 minutes.
Please don't make reaction content or quote-unquote drama videos about this subject. Not just don't read this, do not discuss this. I am going to publish media into the world for a global audience. Don't talk about it. Yourself.
I understand he wants to be seen as ignorant and edgy. I really
Ignorant and edgy? No, I think that's just correct.
get it. I am kind of ignorant and extremely mean to people too in some of my videos, but
I'm very mean too. I'm a very mean guy. When I put on the suit, when I put on the suit, I become ruthless.
don't think it's okay to just immediately start your video by telling the potential sexual harassment victim to go
Potentially sexually harassed via, not even nudies, via softcore, clothed, only partially naked pictures sent to you when prompted. An e-girl sent him, like, what I have to assume are like lingerie pics or something.
fuck himself. At that point, you are showing that you do not actually
Also, even if you were brutally raped, f you if you post something and say, don't talk about it, too bad.
sexual harassment victim to go fuck himself. At that point, you are showing that you do not actually care at all about this
Correct.
situation you're
Yep, correct. It's commentary on media that's been published.
talking about. It's fair to criticize Rex for releasing an exposed document and then expecting people to not reference it in any way. Not
I'm not criticizing him for it. I'm totally disregarding that demand.
only does that defeat the purpose of him
Well, I did also criticize him for it, but in that clip, I'm just saying, you, I'm not doing what you say.
posting it in the first place, but it's also just extremely nonsensical. But can you not at least show this guy some sympathy? I mean,
Show me sympathy first. I try and go to watch Netflix films online. I go Westworld Season 2, Episode 1. I find a perfectly legal link, I click it. Gaped asshole pops up. Join now, live chats. That's way worse than what happened to him.
he was about to come forward as a sexual harassment victim of the, at the time, most powerful female content creator in
Most powerful. The most powerful thought in Dead by Daylight sent him pictures a few times, and he never cut off contact. He seems to have been hoping for money. She told him she had 200 grand that could help him out. Did she? I don't know. He doesn't actually say.
the DBD community. I think it's fair to assume Rex must have been under immense distress, therefore it's to be
I don't think so. If he was, that's really funny. The most powerful niche video game player sent me her tits.
expected that he might not have the best
Go into your like Twitter, what do they call it? The messages from people you don't follow, unverified, whatever. Go into there, you're gonna be horrified by what you've been sent over the years.
decision making due to his unique
Not by the most powerful girl in Dead by Daylight, but still.
circumstances. So I really don't agree with writing off this document entirely just because of his don't talk about it demand. No,
I didn't. I wrote off his don't talk about it demand, as demonstrated by me talking about it.
before
What?
I get into harmful opinions, actual arguments, I need
Arguments? I don't make any arguments, brother. I don't think I made any arguments.
to get something out of the way. I don't like it when people try to relate everything to the other sex when talking about gender-related issues. Usually,
People try to make everything related to the other sex when talking about gender-related issues.
whenever there's a controversy involving something gender-related, there are always certain people commenting, well, what if a man did this? Or women have this problem too. And I am not a fan of that. I think
But you're gonna do it now, right? Place your bets.
it's unproductive conversation and it typically distracts from the actual important talking points. But with this
Like what?
situation, I'll make an exception. I want everyone for just a second to imagine that genders are reversed here. Imagine a guy in his 30s
If you say dick pic, you've been naughty. Let's see.
got accused of sending inappropriate images to a 20-year-old woman and now listen to harmful opinions
Imagine if a 30-year-old man sent a 20-year-old woman partially unclothed photos. That woman never cuts him off. There's a repeated pattern of that guy asking how they're doing, and whenever they give a certain response, they get photos from him. They continue giving that response, and they make it clear that they understand there's that pattern.
talking
Yeah? It's nothing.
about this situation.
You're talking like a child abuse victim. Yeah. You're an adult man who got sent lewds. It would be pretty fucking crazy if the genders were reversed and I just started calling a woman a man for no reason. He has me there. Mom, help! This woman online sent me her tits! We want to protect you from continuously receiving lewds. Shut up.
The only reason this guy is saying all of this is because it's a man accusing a woman of sexual harassment.
Worst read of all time. Worst read of a person of all f***ing time. Unbelievably terrible insight.
If the roles were reversed and a man were to send explicit pictures to a woman unprompted, his opinion would change.
It also wasn't unprompted. Ooh. It wasn't explicitly solicited. The, whatever his name is, Rex, who wrote the document, noted that he was aware there was a prompt he could give that would result in nudes, and he did it over and over again.
Completely. He'd be strongly condemning this. His take is by definition
Pretty sure I've had examples of this and laughed at them.
sexist. He only holds these beliefs.
Oh!
He's strongly condemning this. His take is by definition sexist.
No. Your made-up version of me is sexist. Your made-up version of me is sexist. You have conjured out of thin air that if it had been different, if the genders had been reversed, I would have a different take. You've pretended that's true and said I'm sexist because of what you've just made up.
only holds these beliefs because of the stereotypical gender roles that are at place here. And
I don't hold that belief. You just made it up. You literally just made it up. I'm sure there are a billion videos of women being hysterical about nothing from a dude and me laughing at them. Normally that's what people get annoyed at me for.
I know for sure his thought process must have been like, well, I would have enjoyed receiving nudes from a 30-year-old woman as a...
No, I absolutely would. I wouldn't have enjoyed receiving her nudes. I've seen her. But my thought process is I wouldn't have been traumatized to the point where I need to write about, oh, she tried to get me with the microtransactions. She tried to bait me with little toys. Please, I'm a baby.
20-year-old. Therefore, this person must be overreacting and there's no wrongdoing here. And a lot of people hold this opinion on social media whenever a female teacher...
Yes, he's overreacting. I also don't believe he's traumatized. I believe she did these things. Problem is, I also believe him when he says there was this pattern of they do this certain interaction, she sends pictures. He did that over and over again and recognized it was happening. Curious, isn't it?
Gets accused of sleeping with one of her students, there will always be a bunch of people commenting something like, this would have been my dream as a kid. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that opinion is evil. If you truly feel this way, I'm not gonna tell you...
Why would you say, if I truly feel the way you made up?
...that you have to change your mind. But I will say it's absolutely unacceptable if you then invalidate other people's feelings on the matter. It's one...
Oh... If he really was that traumatized by it, that's pathetic. But two, I don't believe he was. Literally don't believe he was. I think he's covering his ass because he went along with... my suspicion is that I think he's covering his ass because he felt guilty about going along with it.
One thing to say, I would have loved this, but taking it a step further...
I wouldn't have loved it. Why would I say that? There's a whole section in my video where I talk about... My mind was changed by how horrifying seeing her in a lewd situation would be.
And claiming that there's no issue here and that there's no victim just because you feel like you would have enjoyed this is just...
I don't. It's not my take and I didn't say it in my video. I'm saying I wouldn't be traumatized. I'm saying an average reasonable person would not be traumatized by this.
It's completely wrong in my opinion. Like, not to be on the nose here, but that's definitely a harmful opinion. I think harmful opinions is stubbornly forcing his views upon Rex, and he's completely...
Okay, I'm enjoying the irony. I'm enjoying the irony.
...unable...
I accepted that as his view, and said his views were pathetic.
...to see past his bias, and just consider for a second that maybe not everyone likes receiving nude images from women completely unprompted.
Not unprompted. Two, it's not a matter of whether he liked it or not. It's the level of trauma and distress he claims is ludicrous. Especially for someone who would repeatedly engage in the back and forth he was aware would result in those images. Also, did nothing to avoid it or disengage from it. Otherwise it wouldn't have happened over and over again. An adult man being sent half-naked, i.e. not naked, pictures given certain prompts over some period of time that I don't think is quite specified is not traumatizing, even if they are popular on YouTube.
Just don't think it's fair to say men sending nude images to people is harassment, but when women engage in the exact same behavior, it's suddenly perfectly fine. And
it's not perfectly fine, it's not traumatizing.
And everyone complaining about it is a loser. Like, that is a...
Oh no, I did say this guy for ruin it for the boys on the internet, making women scared to share those pictures. Look up the word facetious.
Horrible mindset to have in my opinion. Anyway, before I rip into this guy any further, most of
holy.
you watching aren't actually subbed to the channel, so if you're enjoying these investigative commentary videos, please subscribe. It would absolutely mean the world to me. Anyway, back to harmful opinions, terrible takes.
This motherfucker's gonna make the few women... Oh, he used the clip! ...online can get titty pics from scared to send titty pics. Yeah. This man is evil.
Listen, I don't know what the Ozempic Kaiser the Bard is on about here, but I feel like it's absolutely ludicrous that he's taking a Ventic side here. I mean, it's still...
Are you retarded? Are you genuinely actually damaged? Holy
entirely possible that Rex didn't actually tell Nina that he didn't want to receive these pictures, but even if that's the case, Nina would have still actively cheated on...
This has nothing... That has nothing to do with what I just said.
...on Ostara by sending all these images to Rex. It's still something...
Do you not understand? Do you not get the bit? We're always talking about men being punished for coming on to women, right? People are always talking about, oh, in the current climate, everything men does is called sexual harassment and they're called creeps, so they're not going to pursue people. This is a flip of that into a joke about how calling her out is going to make e-girls less likely to send you their tits. So, oh, he's ruined it for the boys. They're not going to get sent tits now because they're going to be scared they're going to be accused of harassment. You don't get it? You don't understand the joke? Okay.
That should be called out. If anything, publicly outing someone for cheating on their significant other and destroying their career in the process could actively encourage potential cheaters to, well, not cheat and just break off their
Oh. Public shaming for cheating as a public good, as like an act of justice. I mean, people do this anyway. Do you have a Facebook account? Make a bunch of friends. You'll see it happen now and then.
relationship instead. So I really don't see an issue with Rex
It's okay. I'm not gonna date Nina now. I'm not gonna date Nina now.
sharing his story and posting the doc. Now someone in his Twitch chat challenged his take and he
Yo!
provided the worst response possible.
Even if that guy said, no more titty pics! If she sent him another titty pic, it was still just a titty pic. Yeah. How about that? That's the flip side of that. She didn't rape his asshole.
So this guy
Yeah. He's talking like he's an abused child in that document. He's a dude who got some half-naked pics he may or may not have wanted. Claims he didn't. How traumatizing is that? Even from the most powerful girl who likes to play video games, this particular video game online. Oh.
saying that even if you as a man actively tell a woman that you do not want to receive nude images from her anymore and then she sends you more anyway, that's still not an issue and not even sexual harassment.
Yeah, it's sexual harassment, but how bad is that? How traumatized are you gonna be? You're talking to a girl, she keeps sending you tits when you say certain things. You tell her, please stop sending tits, and she sends you one more tit picture. How harmed are you? How damaged are you?
You have to be actively raped by women to be able to claim sexual harassment. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the categorization as sexual harassment or not. I'm talking about degree of harm, degree to which a reasonable adult human being would be traumatized by that action and the way he was talking about it.
Midlife crisis Voldemort here is just coming in with the worst take of the year.
Good.
Listen, if I were to send nude images to a woman and she vehemently tells me to stop and then I send her more anyway, that would
So you are Indian.
100% be sexual harassment. I don't think a single
Sure, but how much of an impact would that have on her?
reasonable person would disagree with me here. So just because the gender roles are reversed in the
Reversed from what? The reversed thing is a hypothetical you made up.
situation, it suddenly becomes okay. It's not sexual harassment anymore. That is
No, it's not what I said.
a complete horseshit take, and I cannot believe that
Yeah, it is. It is horseshit. Didn't happen.
Harmful Opinions video got any support at all. It really felt like he just got so personally offended at Rex telling people not to make content about his document that he impulsively decided to actively engage in victim blaming instead of getting this story anywhere. Now,
I don't even believe that he's a victim.
unfortunately, because Harmful Opinions is
I don't trust his characterization. If, hypothetically, he was a victim and had indicated they didn't want it and she continued, and she technically sexually harassed him, the degree of harm, the how bad what was done is small potatoes.
essentially told everyone that these allegations are completely false. No other commentators
Wait.
Harmful Opinions essentially told everyone that these allegations are completely false.
No, I didn't. I didn't essentially do that. I didn't do that at all. I accepted them as true. I don't think this guy understands anything.
No other commentary channel decided to look into this, and all the DVD people just
Do you think I did that?
ignored the situation as per Rex's request, and therefore the story just lay dormant for 8 months, and most people remained completely unaware of what's actually going on with Eventic. She did
I don't think that's true. Brother, are you right? This guy has, I guess, YouTuber brain. Grew up with an iPad in like a waterproof case just on autoplay. No one heard about this. Here's the post. 2.2 million views on this post. I don't think you can see how many impressions the Google Doc has. 600 retweets, 5.6 thousand likes. If it's not on YouTube, it's like not real to you? What do you mean?
leave the internet after this, but obviously she gave no explanation as to why. In all of this, I just personally feel extremely bad for Odds. He does come across as a relatively sweet guy in my opinion.
This is a guy who plays video games on the internet and he got cucked. It's funny.
And so it's a shame that he had to go
He got... Video game streamer gets cucked by Gollum. Haha.
through all of this. And also, of course, if Rex really told Nina to stop and she kept on going anyway, I do believe he's a
Really? Told her to stop? I don't think he even said that he did.
victim
No
in
really
all of
to
this
it.
too, and I hope he's doing better now. But in any
I hope he's recovered from the pictures.
way, I definitely feel like Harmful Opinions publicly slandered Rex, and he fucked up the story massively through his
Slandered! What did I say that was false? What did I say that wasn't true?
stubbornness. So I usually don't like to engage in these things, but I'm gonna make an offer here to the people involved. It seems like there's evidence for a lot of the claims here, but no one is willing to go forward. So Rex, if you're seeing this and
Materwellen? Ooh.
you agree with my take that Harmful Opinions slandered you, and you've got the evidence to further prove it beyond a shadow of doubt, then my Twitter DMs are always open. If you send me proof, I will make another video and show to everyone that you were in fact sexually harassed by this woman, and the same
Yeah, it may have been. If he was. I cover the hypothetical of if he was, it's nothing.
goes for the other side. If Nina has evidence showing that Rex actually wanted these images,
Bro, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. It's over.
she could DM it to me and I would show it too. I want to blow this case wide open because I do feel like there's so much untapped information available here.
Not really, there's a tiny amount. Either he did say no and ooh, the e-girl who he didn't block continued sending him nudes when he said certain things to her that would trigger that, and that he learned would trigger that, or he was essentially covering up that he was into it. In which case, you're not gonna get it. I don't think Nina sees herself as having a chance of coming back, so what incentive does she have to try and blow that up unless she's really mad at this guy? Really, really mad. But if she was, she would have done it already.
That could potentially shut up people like Harmful Opinions once and for all. But
Once and for all? What did I... Brother, it was almost a year ago the last time I even thought about this.
of course, if
Do you view someone's video as them, like, perpetually saying that over and over again?
everyone just wants to leave this in the past, that's alright too. My Twitter DMs remain open regardless, just like my new Discord server I
Watch out, brother. Watch out. At any second I could send you half-naked pictures. Watch out.
just created. If we hit
You'll never recover.
2k subs, I'll open up my brand new Discord server to the public, and we even got the homie 2k subs.